And now go along into the city centre of Bar, where there is loads of packs of homeless dogs. And to be honest, I'm really sick of this. This dog problem's got completely out of hand in this city, and the city should be able to deal with this. So now it's a bit of a rant about homeless dogs, because what really annoys me is that a reason why this dog problem is not sorted out is due to some people thinking dogs have some sort of special status. Now, homeless dogs are not safe animals. They are not some cute pet. They are wild and often aggressive. They can run up to people aggressively, either because it's decided that you're a threat or it's being territorial towards you. Now, dogs are the only animal I know that get aggressive towards people in this way. For example, a cat would never do this. It would never be the one to approach you to start the aggression. Even my nan's rescue cat, which was one of the most bad-tempered cats you could possibly imagine, would never approach you aggressive. It'd only be aggressive if you approached it. Meanwhile, a dog actually comes to you, growling, barking, being aggressive. And to be honest, they need to get rid of these dogs. And let's not sugarcoat this. It is not going to be possible to rehome these dogs. There's far too many of them. And also a lot of them have behavioural problems and they've been wild for such a long time. They're just not going to adapt to living in someone's house. So unless you're going to build very large numbers of kennels to house them all, what getting rid of them means is ultimately killing them. Now, let's be clear about a few things. In pest control, that often involves killing animals. But I am not someone that likes killing animals. For example, when I saw in Lanzarote they were trapping and killing birds on a hotel rooftop, I just didn't think that was right, because the birds they were killing were collar doves, a completely harmless bird. I felt it was not justifiable to kill a collar dove just because they didn't want it on their site, so I opened up the traps and set the collar doves free. Now, as for a case of homeless dogs, that is a different situation because they are not harmless, they are dangerous, so that makes things in a very different sort of situation. And there's one thing I just feel what needs to be said about dogs' special status, man's best friend and all that stuff. If any other species of animal was to approach people in an aggressive way like homeless dogs do, endangering public safety, that animal would be killed by pest control. However, when dogs exhibit these behaviours, often nothing happens to them in these countries because of that special status, and I just feel that's wrong. Like, I'm not trying to endorse killing an animal, but in a situation where public safety is at risk, there is no other choice. So if you accept pest control on other animals, such as killing rats and animals that, let's be honest, are a lot less dangerous than dogs, then why is there such a thing about, oh, we can't kill dogs? So, as far as I'm concerned, these homeless dogs should be killed. And I'm not saying that because I like animals being killed, because I don't. Unless, of course, it's for eating meat and farming, that's a different story altogether. Let's not go down that route. But these homeless dogs should be killed because there is no other option. You cannot house all these dogs, especially with how bad dog problem has got in Montenegro. You just simply would not be able to house them all. You can't rehome them. And I do not think it's right to just leave these dogs roaming the streets because it's too much of a safety risk. Now, I do not like dogs at the best of times. Even when it's a pet dog, it's because of the dog owners in the UK do not train their dogs properly. A number of issues I've had from badly trained dogs being aggressive and the owner's like, oh Fluffy, please stop being like that. You can't talk to a dog like it's a mini human. You have to treat a dog like a dog and train it not to be aggressive. But with the rise of people wanting dogs as pets, yet there's no rise in people wanting to learn how to treat a dog correctly. So I really feel there should be a return of dog licenses. That if anyone wants to own a dog, there should be a license to know that person that owns a dog has had a course to learn how to train a dog so that dog is not a menace to society. And that's even with pet dogs, there's that issue. When you've got a homeless dog, it's 10 times worse. Because if that dog decides to attack, there is no owner to stop it. And the problem with dogs, and why I don't like dogs, is I see people as part of its pack. That means if a dog wants to enforce territory or is being aggressive, it will see a person as someone to be aggressive to. They see a person as being one of them. Other animals do not do that. For example, foxes. A fox is aggressive to other foxes as trying to defend a territory for, but a fox will never be aggressive to a person. And in the news, every now and then there's a horror story about foxes are dangerous. No, they're not. I've even put it to the test myself, because apparently if you corner a fox, it might bite. Well, I've actually tried cornering him in London. I got this fox into a corner to see if it would be aggressive to me, and it wasn't. It literally just tried to run past me. It was never actually aggressive. So I have no problem with foxes. A fox won't do anything that could harm me. But that's not the case with dogs, because a dog will attack a person if it feels it needs to. Which brings me on to the next thing, which is dogs don't understand human society, but they understand the emotion. Now, there's just one reason why I don't like dogs as pets, is people often have them as, oh, I've got a dog to defend myself, or, oh, it's a guard dog. The problem with that is a dog sees the emotions of human society, but it can't understand it. For example, if I was a bit annoyed with someone, for example, because they owe me some money, let's just say I go up to someone, hey, you owe me some money. And the person's like, oh, I don't have any to pay you right now. Just some situation like that. If that person has a pet dog, the pet dog will assume I'm the attacker. It will assume I'm the one being hostile. So I started that situation. The dog doesn't understand that its owner owes me money. That's beyond the dog's comprehension. Yet the dog is still able and will get involved being aggressive towards a person with that pack mentality. But it doesn't understand our society of whether it can or cannot use self-defense. It doesn't understand that. It can only see the emotion. And that means that dogs can randomly decide they're going to get aggressive at someone. I've seen situations where a dog, which everyone thinks is friendly, just snaps and suddenly gets aggressive because in its little doggy world, it's decided that you're a threat to it or something along those lines. And I do not like it. I feel like dogs should never be in a position where they can use any form of hostility towards a person. I've got no problems whatsoever with innocent, cute little dogs like little pugs, little King Charles Spaniel, or anything that's a nice-natured dog. I have no problems with those. It's when a dog tries to act dominant towards people where I have the issue. And I feel that's something that people should train their pet dogs to not do. But in the UK, no one seems to train their dogs at all. And interestingly, one breed of dog I seem to have had a lot of problems with is Labradors, which is weird because everyone says, oh, Labradors are lovely dogs. Not in my experience. One situation I've had with a Labrador was I was just walking along a park. I didn't even notice the dog was there. I was just minding my own business and this dog just snaps at me. For no reason. The dog's decided I've got too close to it or whatever. And what annoyed me about this situation was actually the owner. Because rather than going, bad dog, don't do that, what the owner did was, oh, did he make you jump? Oh, come here, dog. I'll give you a cuddle. How was that training it to not behave like that? The dog got rewarded for bad behaviour rather than told off for bad behaviour. And again, that's why we need to have dog licences, to stop completely incompetent people from owning dogs. The problem with homeless dogs is that is amplified. The problem's much, much worse because you don't have the owner to call the dog off if the dog be's aggressive. There is no owner. Well, I've had situations where homeless dogs have been aggressive towards me. In Tunisia, I was walking along the beach and this pack of homeless dogs just blocked my way and refused to let me pass. So the dogs were like, this is our territory. We now own this bit of beach. We are letting no humans enter our territory. So I literally couldn't walk to get to where I was going because the dogs were in the way. And in Bulgaria, I saw a situation where someone was walking their pet dog. The pet dog was perfectly fine, did nothing wrong whatsoever, and this homeless dog just charges at it, barking. What can that dog owner do? There's literally a dog coming up aggressively to their pet dog, and that dog doesn't have an owner because it's homeless. Homeless dogs are not safe to society. And to be honest, even pet dogs, I feel, can be dangerous. I've seen multiple times someone's pet dog, it's usually dog on dog, but I've seen multiple times someone's pet dog just snap and suddenly get really aggressive and lunge at another dog. And I've seen situations where someone's aggressive, nasty, snarly pet dog has just bit another dog round the neck. A completely innocent dog, just a friendly, nice-natured dog that's done nothing wrong. I've seen an aggressive dog just bite it round the neck so hard that loads of blood comes out. And that's why I don't trust dogs. I've seen so many bad situations with them, even with pet dogs. So homeless dogs is just much, much worse. And I find it unacceptable that so many countries have got homeless dogs. Like Tunisia, Turkey, Montenegro, Bulgaria. They should sort out this problem and get rid of these homeless dogs. It's not acceptable that they just roam around the streets like it's putting people's safety at risk.